breastplate.
You get a breastplate.
You
get a breastplate.
So everybody's like, all right. Even though it's like a very low, it's like 14. It's only 14 on your AC plus your dexterity, but it's a pretty expensive. I think it's because it's kind of considered. It's kind of like a mild heavy, but you don't have any disadvantage to your stealth, your movement, or anything like that. So yeah, we got to meet you all on this little excursion of working as mercenaries on the coast. Oh, speaking of, one more thing I need to do is pull up my THEROS map. I don't know if any of you have checked the THEROS map or done any of that in the past. Nothing extremely big has been updated other than the fact you'll probably see that your group has been moved into the city. I just lost my place. Oh, there it is. Okay. And so we met you all on your way, finishing up a job, looking for pirates, and instead of pirates, traveling with Othanis, Captain Othanis and his crew of hoplites who are kind of low-level guards, or who they're not quite. I would almost put them in the same category as like bounty hunters, but even though they still wear some of the same garments, I think they look like Meletis hoplites with the blue capes and the bronzed helmets with blue fins or crests. But if you ever saw like the higher level military, that would definitely set them apart, just because they would be adorned a lot higher, a lot more regally. They would probably be much more prepared in their military form. But you met them, and on your last day, you come across this gray, ashen-skinned figure, humanoid, the golden mask. It tries to hop on your boat. It gets shot with several arrows. He dies. You collect the mask. You also fight off the three other returned that show up looking for him, calling him a heretic. Does anyone remember the name of the returned? Or if not, good Lord, just wondering. If you didn't know his name or it wasn't made very clear, I'm looking at my notes. Did you all find anything on the other bad guys who were trying to kill him? Did you find anything on their person? Did you guys search those bodies? No, you didn't, because I think you guys left there.
Yeah.
They were all like, no, because you brought the body back. The one that when Zunis went in after him and drowned that guy, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think you found like a note saying the heretic must die. And it went into it was pretty much scrawled on on a piece of clay funerary mask, and it named this character, or this undead.
Are you talking about Kia? Or?
Kia is the name that is scrawled on the inside of the golden mask. Who actually has the mask? Who actually took it? Is it Yagos that has it, or no?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know I had it for like a hot second, and then I think, did I give it to you, Torin, or did you take it from me, Torin? Because I remember
I remember you guys were talking at the end of the episode, and you were deciding who was gonna. I think it might be between the two Leonin.
Yeah, I think you might have it, because you were like asking me like what happened, like what did I experience.
I do remember asking you what you experienced, and I'm going to be honest when I say that I don't recall taking the mask, but it makes sense that I would have it. So
yeah, because I feel like I was so shook that I was like I couldn't even really form words in that.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. So then Torin would have taken it. And then on the inside of that mask, there are all these like carvings, like glyphs, and the only one that you were able to decipher was the name Kia. And with a little bit of investigation, I think even Othanis told you that he believes that Kia is an oracle um, that is either on the outskirts or somewhere in the city of Meletis. And so you guys have that. And I think that's really all the information that you guys have right now. You're going into the city. It is a big place. And there are a lot of places to explore and things to do and see. So, in addition to having that little tidbit about the Oracle, there are a number of other things you could leave the city and travel somewhere else. You could find a place to get a good drink, or if you were going to go rest at a tavern, you can kind of see the sights. You can go to the agora and kind of walk through the marketplace, look for weaponry, or look for buy trinkets. There literally is up to you all. And so we will be picking up our story on that early morning after the boat is docked and you're all entering the city of Meletis. Sounds good? All right. Give me 1 second and we will jump in. Alrighty. Um, the we open our story as we kind of pan down from the skies on this section you see behind me. Um, this as these gates open, these huge statues loom before you. To the other side, you can kind of see them. You can see the beautiful city of Meletis stacked on, buildings stacked on top of each other on the countryside. The fresh kind of sea salt smell of the ocean is in the air. The seagulls are flying overhead, chirping or cawing, and your ship docks, and moments later, the crew is all kind of spilling off board, grabbing their gear, um, ships being anchored. And ahead of you, like I said, is this beautiful city of lush green and pasture mixed in with civilization and all these like Senate-like buildings with ionic columns supporting them. The people shrouded in cloth, going through to and fro in togas, uh, old and young. Another thing you notice is that as you start to kind of take in the city, the wafting smells of different types of food, different types of cultures. You get the feeling that Meletis is of the major great three cities of this world. This is the one that is the most accepting. It is the most diverse in terms of allowing all races in. You see satyrs prancing by, blowing playing with their little, flutes, and centaurs gallop and ride in large groups through the streets. You might even see a minotaur here and there, shopping for weaponry in the square. It is the bastion of civilization itself, um, and you can't help but notice a grand statue. One of the first statues of a god you see is of a woman, um, who draped in a kind of white cloth. Um, Her features are her nose a bit wider. She has kind of almost some like feature what we would call in our world African. Um, and you recognize her as her hair kind of done up and braided upwards as the god or goddess Ifara, the god of the police, known for being uh, like kind of one of the right hand of Heliod, the god of the sun, who kind of helped bring mankind and build them up and nurture them in the city. But unlike just what's interesting about this city too is you all around you, you see statues dedicated to other gods. You see little temples and sanctuaries. Temples seem to be on every block and every corner, dedicated to Iroas, the god of victory. One dedicated to Heliod, with him kind of with his spear towards the sky. Um, you even see little statues of this minotaur hunched over Mogus, the god of war. They all are even god of death, because here in this city they understand very well that every god has its place in the ebb and flow of everything. And as you kind of spill off the ship, I know I'm getting long-winded here. The Captain Othanis, he turns to you all. It was good, uh, good riding. Bless Vasa. I know I don't normally say that. Yeah, you kind of get feel he's kind of an iconoclast, but what we went through and out there, and watching you move through the water, Zunis, I'd say your God is definitely with you wherever you go. And not to mention, I just felt a little weird with that storm coming out of nowhere. So I guess I gotta give Karanos his due as well. If you all need me, I'm always down at the Tilted Horn, little tavern near the docks. If you ever are looking to find me or my crew, if I'm not there, then most likely, if you ask around, I might be back out at sea. But I'd sail with you all anytime. What do you guys say? Is there anything I say to him as?
Yeah, Zazunas kind of reaches out with his arm, and it was a close call there, but glad we made it here ashore. I look forward. I'm very interested in taking the boat out again and heading to the seas. So perhaps we'll see each other again.
Absolutely. And don't always think that every time you take the boat, we have to, like I said, sailing the coast is sometimes a quicker way to get where you, and even sometimes safer than taking some of the more dangerous roads in Theros. But let me ask you this: now that you guys have got a little cash in your pocket, and you guys are paid your 50 gold pieces for the trip there. Where will you go? What will you see of Meletis? Or do you have other plans?
Well, I personally will. I have, for one, have not been to Meletis, despite living close. So I will explore, and then perhaps the others here do the same. But that is all on my mind now. See how things go.
Yeah, Zior is kind of in the back and kind of looks a little like uneasy right now, being in like an environment.
And just so we can remind everybody,
Torin,
go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, Torin nods as Zunis kind of explains and says, "My plans are my own, but was well met, Captain. Thank you for your help with our passage and offer to help us further."
Thank you. So this is Captain Thanos here, shaking your hand in there, Torin. We've got Zior here, and our half Triton, Zunis. And this guy here is ginormous right now, but this still will represent, he's a little bit more medium-sized, more the normal size of a kind of disfigures extremely brand, but that would be Yagos. All right, well, if there's any place that you want me to point you in the direction, otherwise, have at it. It is a beautiful city to explore. You know what? Why don't you take this? It's unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of the more interesting places to find on it, but and he hands you a map I will share my screen here. You guys should see. This is a map of Meletis. It is not all like there aren't a lot of other things populated because I imagine over time as you guys find certain places they will be. But it is a large city. And right now I imagine you guys are right here if I kind of zoom in near the docks. And just to give you an example of like the numbers around, there's like one and let's say like 1 in 6. Just around you, you guys are near the Temple of Afara, like I just said, and then there's also this theater of Finaxicus is nearby as well. So almost as like your little Disneyland. A lot of this stuff seems like Hall of Heroes. More of them, what's noted on here are more monuments than like interesting places that you might find. So exploration of those other places might be required. So yeah, you don't really need all of this, but if you need to ask of anything or as you travel around, if you want to know what's in your general area, I can, of course, let you know. I will let you know around this area is kind of a central agora where you might find like a high-end marketplace and a beautiful garden if you're interested in that way. This seems to be a little bit more of kind of like the lower dwelling parts of the city. But yeah, just kind of want to give you an idea of this beautiful land, and of course you can kind of travel through and leave the gates to the west and leave the city altogether. But that is Meletis. I will go ahead and continue listening to you all.
So I take a look at the map, and I'm looking for a temple that worships Nylea.
All right.
That exists.
Let's see. I'm sure there are plenty here. So as we look for Nylea, let me know if you find it first. I know it's
yeah. I'll look.
Nylea, really... Temple of Nylea, her Acebola. What were you saying, Zunis?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, we all haven't really figured out whether we know each other quite yet. We were mercenaries hired, right? So
yep.
We're just kind of getting to know each other. But,
yeah.
So Zunis and the group is just, so go ahead, Terry, if you're gonna.
Also, let me ask this one thing too before because that's a good question. Did like the thing with the and I probably should. I didn't look at the video, so I fault myself for not knowing this right now. Kind of should have done a little recap. But who was it that I know one of you had a moment with the mask where you heard the whispers things that's what I thought. That was Zior, right? Okay.
I think it was Zior, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why you were a little tripped out by it and you gave it away. Makes sense. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Just want to make sure I knew that.
So I'm trying to get my soul reconnected. You feel me?
Oh my gosh, yes. Fair enough. Love it. So yeah, you guys are still new to each other. Feel free to kind of role play, talk it through. You guys, it's like you guys just walked into Disneyland, and this is that conversation that everybody has, where it's like, where do we go first?
Like, what you about to do?
What you want to do? Yeah.
So after I grabbed the map and I'm looking like pretty like nervously almost at like for where the temple for Nylea would and like I don't say anything in that moment, but like the vibes that I'm giving off are like very uncomfortable, vulnerable, and still a little shaky.
Zunis, look, I understand. We don't know each other very well, but I for one haven't been to this city before, and while I could use a good drink, I also it'll be worth exploring the area a bit as a group, unless some of you have already been here before and kind of know your way around. I certainly don't.
I agree, Zunis. I am game for a drink and exploring, and Zior, I could tell that you're very troubled. I think a little bit of time to reflect would do you well. I also need to tend to my wounds. The battle left me greatly depleted, so some drink and some rest would do this old cat well.
Yeah, and Zior, thank you. I appreciate each of you all, kind of understanding. And is there a place that I should plan to meet you back at? Is there a location or a landmark that we should plan to maybe meet back when I finish spending a little time with
Maybe the marketplace. We can
That sounds
also,
good.
Chat, pick up whatever supplies we need, as well as get some kind of vittles in our stomachs.
That sounds good.
Do you all plan on just, the moment we had on the boat, the oracle, this funeral mass that we have, and clearly the words that were spoken to you, Zior, have shaken you. I wonder what should we travel together and see and find more about this. I certainly have other things that I would like to do out to shore, but I'm willing to bring some more coin, and perhaps this will be an opportunity for us.
Mm-hmm. Once again, I agree, Zeus. The marketplace sounds wonderful. I do know I do need to rest, though, so hopefully there is a tavern that we can find close to the marketplace. Food sounds excellent, but I also wish to revel after a glorious battle like that. There needs to be time to celebrate, as is my custom. So.
Can I get a perception? Or actually, what's everyone's passive perception on your sheet? Without even rolling dice, you should have passive perception. It's on the left-hand side, I think, towards the middle of the page. I don't know if you guys saw, but they also just did an update on the app on D&D Beyond. So all of your books now are all in the same app, books and character sheets. Pretty cool. 10 for
nice.
Zunis.
12.
Anyone 18 or above? No. Okay. So as you guys are talking, people are just kind of going by to and fro. You up ahead as you're looking around though. Who got the highest?
I have 12.
12. Okay, is that the highest? Anything anybody higher than Tyrell? 12? Okay. So then Zior, you hear Torin saying he wants to find a place to kind of relax. And up ahead on the street that you guys are standing, you can hear a little bit of like, doo, 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 like, kind of like light-hearted music playing. And you can see in the agora there, it seems to be kind of a fancier spot of the city. The people seem to carry themselves kind of like nobles. It seems to be a marketplace, but not kind of the sweaty marketplace that you might be accustomed to in most smaller cities or towns that you might have been to in your life. And women kind of chuckle with each other, standing with golden, ringlets on their hands and around their upper arm. And there's an outdoor kind of patio style place that looks like an above in constantly running through in a I can't think of what spell it would be. I want to say it'd be like a minor illusion that would just continue to it would almost like be an awning, but the awning lights up and then flashes Heliod's light like the sun, and then it fades away. and then for a few seconds it's gone, and then Heliod's light, you know, and then it fades away. And people are kind of sitting out there under the light, under the sun, enjoying these, you know, cups of wine. You can see there's spiced wine. You can see there are these, you know, people come walking around, pouring drinks from the pitchers for them, and right next to it is a place called Erebos' Rest, and so it seems to be a nice, a really well fixed tavern that is attached to this kind of bar and grill kind of spot. Yeah, it's like you gotta imagine like your Greek mythology version of like anywhere you would go and chill, like down in Santa Monica on the weekend. Like it's that spot. You got a view of the water. You got like, you know, the women are pretty, the men are handsome. You know, everybody's doing their thing. The satyrs are playing their music.
My experience has always taught me that you follow the satyrs. Yeah. If you see satyrs playing music and satyrs, you know, having their revelries, that's the place we should be as well. The name is a little ominous, Erebos' Rest, but I feel like I need to sleep like the dead in order to recoup my strength.
So you're going into the tavern? You're going into the inn first, next door? Okay. As you walk in the inn, and as your group follows behind you, Torin, there's no even doors. It's just an archway with two columns, and there are these kind of reliefs of like people walking through what you can clearly see above the awning, like, or above you. Kind of the relief carved into the wall is like people walking through you can clearly looks like the lands of the underworld, but at the last, like, it's like a person like kind of slowly slumping over, and then it's like multiple of this person, and the last one is that person lying down with a smile on their face and resting. And so as you kind of come under the awning of the open way, a man turns to you from behind the older gentleman, long kind of white hair, bronze tan skin, kind of greenish eyes. Top of the morning. You looking to check in, or if you're just looking to get drinks, then you can go right through. There's like a little entryway that exits out into the patio where everyone is. You can actually go there if you're looking for Heliod's light. Oh, but
well met.
You can tell by the bags
I think
under
it's
those
going to be both.
eyes. You're probably looking for some sleep. That Erebos type of sleep.
Yeah, that is a very apt observation, innkeeper. I do hope for some lodging. Hopefully your price is not outrageous. No. This is a very fine establishment you have here.
1 gold a day, but we promise that on our fine silks and our linens you will sleep like the dead. Anyone else?
How can you say no?
Don't be scared. Everything has its place. See, here we like to think of it as sleep is just rest is practice for the great rest beyond. And it's good to, and you can't live like Heliod if you don't rest like Erebos.
Pretty convincing.
You sold me. I feel like I smell like fish in the sea, so it might be good to shower up and rest and have a few drinks, get to know these fellow adventurers here.
Excellent.
That was a good choice, Zunis. None of us wanted to say anything, but you do have a bit of a lingering smell.
So if you guys were to take about an 8-hour rest, you probably would be up by, it's about 6 a.m, so you'd probably be up by 2 p.m. If you guys wanted to do that. And don't get me wrong, I know, like, for example, remember, a long rest isn't just sleeping. It could be walking around. It could be actually just relaxing. As long as you're doing kind of low-level activity, that all counts.
Perfect.
Cool.
What's in this marketplace? Is it somewhere I can possibly pick up a weapon or something? I'm not interested in sleeping. I like to grab a bite to eat and take in the scenery
Yes,
just by walking around.
Much energy in that robust form of yours. It's quite handsome, if you ask me.
I appreciate it, my good man. I do appreciate the compliment.
No, I am sorry for being so forward. I've always, admired the Laguna.
Fine, 'tis fine.
Okay. Well, if you go out this way and he kind of like gives you can kind of see out there and he kind of gives you a couple directions. There's a large marketway there, and I believe there's a couple of sellers. The wares constantly change. The sellers move in and out, but you should find a good merchant for a weapon that brings people closer to Erebos.
Absolutely. Nice.
And question for you. First of all, I don't think we got your name.
Oh,
Maybe we did.
I didn't. I apologize. I am Skilios, and I don't run this establishment. I am just the manager.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
Question for you. I don't know that I have a room at this point, but I would like to find for Nylea. If you point me in the right direction.
What for Nylea?
The temple.
Okay. Give me 1 second as I make a couple of notes here. Yes, and he goes, he notices that you have a map there. Oh, can I see that there quickly? And he kind of like ravels it out, and he goes, right here. You go down here this way. He goes, do you mind if I draw on it? Kind of, he lines you a path leading directly to, which would be on that map. I can show you again, number 38 to, it's actually a quite beautiful garden there for Nylea. You, goddess you worship?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Yes. Goddess of the hunt. May she honor you, bless you greatly. Typically, from what I hear, she really likes those who can best the strongest monsters and beasts that threaten her forests.
Yeah, trying to get my strength up after a long battle.
Good rest will get you there, absolutely. And then he goes, and then a young woman, a fair-skinned brunette, walks out, and she has like a little golden platter, and there are these little flute glasses full of like an orange liquid. And then he hands those out. These will be top of the morning, whether you're resting and enjoy. Those are on the house. We call them an Erebosa.
What is in this?
An Arabosa, as in it's poisoned and it's going to kill us?
Oh, no. It's going to, if anything, make you feel more relaxed. If anything, it's probably, the name is not close to the god, but I mean, most of our drinks are honored under Farika here, as she is the goddess of elixirs and poisons. Let's face it, all liquor is poison, but it won't poison you in the bad way. Talking about
the right kind of intoxication.
Yeah. So Zior is
I
like
should have asked that question before I took the drink.
It's
But
just
cheers.
orange. It's just, don't worry. It's just orange juice and some of our fine white wine with a little.
Okay.
With a little
Excellent.
magical spruce so that it sparkles just in that nice Heliot kind of way, even though we call it an Erebosa. I know. Don't worry. We're still trying to get things right here. We're doing some
Delicious.
So after I take my drink, I put the glass back on the bar and say my goodbyes to the group, and
Okay.
I head on to the temple. But I'll be back. Guys, I'll be back shortly.
Now, where is this?
Good luck, brother.
Torn is shown whether everyone is going to their rooms or not. You're all shown the room that you're going to be in. It's a large, pretty large space for all of you. And when the lady walks you and she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. The ladies haven't cleaned up from the night before." And there are like a few goblets lying over, and there's some, there's clothes, like not clothes, but just like it looks like someone kind of might have had a party here. And she says, "Give us a few minutes, we'll get it together." And she picks up like a kind of a dark cloth, and there are a bunch of like stains on it, questionable stains. She wraps it and takes it away. Sorry, rich nobles used this last night. We'll get it together. And within 10 minutes, the place is kind of all there, and there's nice drapery around the bed. And then there's a little balcony overlooking the Hellions light.
Mm-hmm. Torn growled slightly. I could still smell the stains. I could smell the after effects of this party.
Torn knows exactly what happened there.
I need a drink before I lay down in this bed.
I'm so sorry.
And sleep comfortably. If I'm to sleep like Erebos, I need to be drunk.
My apologies. The people here in the Meletis Way are very, very open, very hedonistic. This area in particular. So enjoy.
Their aim should be better, good innkeeper. Their aim should be better.
She kind of chuckles and leaves the room. So as Torrin has his drink, Zior, you're kind of walking through the streets on your way to find Nylea's statue. Yagos, Zunis, what are you all doing? Or are you all kind of just sticking together? Are you guys kind of resting in the room?
I'm gonna go grab something to eat.
Okay. So I'm imagine Torrin's like stairs, kind of like knocked out for a minute, getting some Z's.
I'm looking for the fruits and vegetable guy, the fruits and vegetable stall.
Okay. You can either have it at Helliot's Light, or you can also you walk through the marketplace and look for the stall. Give me a perception check to see if you notice that. You're going to need a 15 and up.
I loaded everything up, and then when I go to the page, it needs to reload for some reason. There we go. What is it? You said perception plus
What you get?
1.
Perception, yeah.
15.
15. Okay. And so you see a stall with really nice, beautiful, lush, grapes and fruits just all piled high. I mean, it's everything that you're looking for. And as you walk over, you realize you can easily pick up for a few, bronze, maybe even less than that, a bronze piece or two, all the fruit you need for the day.
Awesome. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. And so as you're getting that, kind of filling yourself up, how much do you actually, grab? How much are you picking up there?
Enough for like a meal and a snack.
Okay.
Something to eat now and something to kind of munch on after.
Is he like a vegetarian? Does he only eat fruits?
Yeah, fruits and veggies.
Fruits and veggies. It's nice. So he's piling up on those things, and at this moment, Zeos, you arrive at this shrine, this temple, kind of similar to what you see here, but in this beautiful garden. and no one else is around. Like no one's walking around this part of the section, probably as big as what you see here, but just remove all of the people and all the kind of goings on, and a place of just kind of solace as you walk through. Um, there are other smaller statues of that look to be like as you walk through this garden. There appear to be heroes who, like, some have bows and arrows, some have kind of blades out, and they all look like they are striking um, towards some large creature. But there's no statue of that creature. And then as you settle in around you, you realize that all the bushes are trimmed like large creatures hanging over a hydra, a Medusa, and every one of those human-sized statues, is facing towards one of the trees there. And there's one little archway um, for you to enter the temple.
Cool. So yeah. So like as I enter the really kind of the garden area, like a lot of the nerves and the easiness and kind of the vulnerability that I'm feeling being out amongst people and in the larger city of Meletis started to kind of fade away, started to get a little more people in that space. And it was almost like I could like almost kind of feel Nylea like in the midst, so to speak. Um, and so I'm kind of walking through the garden, running my paws like through the bushes, kind of taking in the environment, really kind of getting all the smells and just really like familiarizing myself with it. Really just trying to be in the moment. And yeah, then once I kind of go through that, you know, through that ritual, so to speak, of really just kind of being present with with Nylea and within her presence, within her bits, I start to walk towards the temple.
Spending that time to kind of center yourself. Um, as you enter the temple, there are a few lanterns or torches that are lit along, or sconces lit along the sides of the walls, like some, almost like some people. And actually, you kind of get a glimpse of a shrouded, uh, looks like it could be just a humanoid form. Can't tell if it's a woman or a man, but as you are entering, it's just kind of lighting one of them, and and then also kind of sits down some incense right under it. They all seem to be lit and have the same setup, and then she quickly moves past you, and they disappear off into the garden. Not like they're trying to run away, but just kind of moving along, not really paying you any mind. There at the far end, 40 feet away from you, is this is the statue of Nylea, similar to what you have behind you, stretched out, looking away, looking towards the sky, and above her is like it's a skylight, like the dome, a dome ceiling, and the sun is illuminating Nylea's form. And there are vines and ivy wrapping all around the temple, and it's grown inside around the domed area, all the way down, wrapping around the base, kind of all around her form. It kind of gets sparse as it gets to her, but it's still like holding on to her in certain sections. Kind of like where you see her wrappings on you, that's where the vines are on, or wrappings on her body, like where her, that's where you see those vines on her body.
Cool. So yeah, so I mean, I like realize that I'm basically alone and that I have like this moment to, you know, kind of pay my respects, but I'm also looking to Nylea for guidance on how to navigate this new place and this new world, essentially. You know, being from the Great Plains and really, you know, pretty much my entire life being told that the city is the worst place ever. You know, it's not really where people are. It's not a place that is typically pretty uh, because you know human civilization, the expansion of human civilization means in essence, just, you know, destruction and getting rid of, you know, the natural wonders of the And so go in, I come, basically right in front of her statue, and I just get on my knees and I just ask for guidance, and ask for her to kind of show me the way and how I should go about this season in my life.
I need an advantage. The reason I'm giving you advantage is because of the time you spent outside. I was talking about centering yourself. I need a religion check. This is to see if Nylea hears these prayers of yours. Is she even listening?
Come on now, Leia. Don't play. Hey, wait, baby.
And I don't mean that in a derogatory way towards anyone, but the way I think about the gods, like they're not really omnipotent, right? So they're not everywhere at once. And so you could be praying to God and they're just like off doing something else and like you're not their focus right now, right? They're not looking at you. So you have to almost like get their attention through the Nyx, through the cosmos,
So 18.
18. That's actually what I was looking for. And so say one more time what you're asking of her.
So I'm really asking for guidance on how to navigate being in a metropolis when this is essentially the antithesis. Like everything that's happening in this city is kind of the antithesis of what Nylea feels is part or what the world should be and what it should look like and how it should function and run. I'm in this place where excess is apparent, and people are like killing for sport to some degree. So, like how can I maintain myself and my allegiance to her while trying to navigate this fast-paced life and be a part of a group working towards a common goal?
So as you say that, and after you say it, it's very quiet. You're there. You hear the water, the fountain outside. You hear the birds chirping. You kind of feel yourself radiating from outside. You feel yourself connecting with the nature around you. And then you get a silence in your deepness, your heart and your soul. That part of you that's connected to the Nyx itself. And you don't hear a voice say it, but you realize that even in a way, Nylea doesn't really like this temple to her. She doesn't like this level of gaudiness to the civilization that's been built. And but you understand that she also doesn't hold all ill will. She doesn't want to destroy man for their folliness. And then that statue suddenly, like the head kind of starts to kind of crack and move, and a bit of like dust falls off of it. As it looks down on you, the eyes closed, and then those eyes open, and there's just kind of deep, kind of a greenish light pouring from them. And as she looks down on you in this unweirdly way, it's almost like a ghostly female face over the statue, kind of tall, almost as someone projected the face over the statue, making it move. And she says, "I hear you, my child. I understand. Don't worry. Yes, Ifara, my sister, is foolish for her ways of building this civilization. But let the children play in their folly. You have bigger things to attend to. Take the mask to Kea. We must find out what Phoenix is up to. He is my mortal enemy. Stop him, and I will reward you with great glory, my champion." And then her face just goes back to posing out.
So I'm in fucking tears at this point, right? Like I'm like completely floored, right? So this is like my first legit like real experience
Yeah.
with Nylea. And so for me, like it gives me it basically to a large degree it emboldens me, and it really gives me a clear path and direction of what I need to do in order to, to continue to like honor her name.
Yeah.
And so after having another just like quick little moment of just like gratitude, but also just like being in awe of like kind of getting the closest thing to seeing my God in the flesh. I get up, leave the temple. I take a couple more minutes in the garden on the way out, and really kind of like looking at the different statues and really trying to pick up on like if there's a story that's being told for each of these heroes.
And as you do that,
and
you
then
gain
from
a piety point, just meta wise. So give yourself a piety point. This is specifically for Nylea. Now you have 3 from Kuranos, you have 1 from Nylea. But so far it doesn't seem like, she didn't tell you to stop. And here's the thing, because of the way the Kuranos thing played out, you notice like he hasn't come to you been like, I need something. I want it to almost be like those first points, they are almost just like inspiration thrown from that god. They're very fickle. He's just kind of like, meh. He hasn't asked anything of you. So so let me ask you this though now. Did you accept his? Did everyone accept Kuranos's piety? If you didn't, just let me know. I need to know now.
I did not.
You did not. Okay, got it. You did not. And you did not. For Thassa did. Okay, so Zunis did not, and Zero did not. Yagos and Torin did.
Torin's like, give me them points.
Good.
I'll take. Keranos is my boy.
Now here's the thing. Torin, what level are you?
1.
Okay, so yeah, you got 3. Yagos, are you level 1 or are you level 3?
2.
You're level 2, so you got 2, not 3. Yeah, 2. So the only one who can actually use that first ability of Keranos is Torin right now. I don't even. You can look in the book what that is, or we can at a break. I can pull it up. You can find it in the book under piety, under each god. So as you're walking out there and as you're observing and kind of looking at, I know that Yagos is coming back from getting all his fruits. Torin's getting a good nap in. I imagine it took you a good hour to work it, because that was a pretty far away part of the city, trying to find it, talking to the god. So it's been about an hour right now. And Torin's probably still asleep. What has Zunis been up to all this time in this past hour?
Yeah, so Zunis went to the area of the this inn slash tavern to their sort of the bar,
the little bar outdoor area, yeah,
in the water, where it's like where you're in.
Oh, you're trying to go down towards the water, like
like you can kind of see outside, and there's a little bar in the water, and people are just kind of sitting down.
Yeah, like that's what I was trying to describe. Remember that Helliod's light part, that bar, it's all open air. There's no ceiling to it. There's like a few like canopies, but it's all open air. Yeah,
that's where I'm headed. And I was actually looking to just like talk to people about the area. I had a couple questions. I don't know if Zunis is just there with this drink. Maybe one of the bartenders just. Do you have a moment to just have a couple questions? I hadn't been here.
Bartender.
Remember, they're not flirting with you. They're just doing their jobs.
The bartender is a really skinny, very kind of frail, a minotaur, young minotaur. Kind of turns around. Hey, how's it going? How can I help? Good. You having good vibes out here in Meletis?
Just kind of rubbing my chest a little bit, and he's like, I've been feeling pretty good. I haven't had a good shower and a good drink in a long time.
Oh, shower, man. You live in the water. What do you need a shower for?
Well, you'd be surprised. There's not a lot of people that like to get too close to me if I haven't had a proper um, clean. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I hear you. You smell kind of like a good salmon, and man, salmon's delicious. So,
It
sorry,
sure is.
I don't mean that in a sexual way. I just, I mean I'd actually eat you if I could, but I turn over a new leaf here in Meletis.
Oh man, that's the
No
funniest
more
thing I've
ways of
heard.
Scophos. The Badlands are behind me, man.
And Zunas kind of raises his glass and kind of, you want a shot? And I get
Shot.
on
Someone
me.
he pours you a drink, and you're like, clink. You guys clank, and he throws it back, and you're like,
Nice. And yeah, I'm really just interested. If there's any, a couple things really. Are there any Triton restaurants around here, or any major hot spots where Tritons are hanging around? And then if not, really, I'm really interested in this hall of treasure. Maybe I'm really interested in artifacts and just things that people bring in that find them unique.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Yeah. Man,
I don't know. I'm kind of weird.
We're so mixed up, here in Melt. There's not too many spots where you'll just find, Are you one of those guys that just doesn't like the humies? You just want to Tritons only?
I mean,
huh?
I'm a human, part human here. So
Don't worry about it, man. He puts this and he goes and he kind of puts he writes something on a little parchment, and then he hands it to you, and he's like, go there and ask for Biff. But
Biff.
yeah, and he it's a little coral near on the beach. You got to leave the city.
Okay.
Tritons only, man.
Oh, great.
Don't get I understand. We hate the humans, kill them all.
Yeah. So
and you get the feeling that this is some really this is not quite what you're looking for.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, bartender.
Grogus is what I go by. Yeah.
Oh man.
You laughing at my Minotaur name? Don't worry, man. I gotta get a more human name. I understand.
No, I think I've just had too much to drink.
Everyone can't be Alexander.
Everything makes
Leonidas,
Yeah.
Some of us are born as Grogus.
Yeah, no. Everything kind of tickles my gills
used to
right
be
now.
Grogus. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I sometimes, always putting that behind me. Sorry.
I appreciate all the I will check out Biff and see what his gills are all about.
And as you kind of try to having this weird, uncomfortable conversation with this guy, you look over to the side and there's a couple postings on the side of the bar where you're getting your drinks, and one of them you just happen to look up and notice, and a little scrawled on a piece of paper, it says Morrow's Ring, closed until further notice. Capable heroes needed. Please inquire at the box office. Compensation offered.
Okay, great. See that.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm gonna go make a couple more drinks, but if you need anything else,
hey, it's been a pleasure, Grogus.
And I'll be on. I gotta think. I don't know too much of the treasure. There's definitely if you go to the marketplace, but if you're, there's definitely. I hear a lot of people are exploring different parts.
I'm a big. I enjoy museums. So yeah. If you think of anything, I'm gonna probably just.
I'll ask my manager Skilios. He might know a place. You probably met him. The guy, kind of creepy guy, white hair. Yeah.
Very creepy. Great. All right, thanks,
so he kind of heads off. And then at this point, I imagine that Yagos is back and Zior is just walking up. You know that Torin is still upstairs. He can kind of show up whenever he wants. you can, as you can see, Yago's showing up with this kind of grand heaping. He's or maybe finishing off some of his meal, and Zior has this kind of interesting look on his face. Just kind of space for a second. You're all back together for the most part.
I'm awake now.
Yeah.
I only need a few hours of sleep. I want to be part of this party.
Yeah, and so down comes Torin, kind of wiping the sleep out of his eye. Huge lion, yawn as he enters the space with you all.
So I come back and like I look refreshed. I look pretty much completely relaxed at this point. And I say to the group that, I was able to commune with Nylea, and she revealed that we really need to go see Kia and figure out what Phoenix does. So that is what I am gonna do. I would love for each of you to join along. I feel like we worked pretty well as a team on the boat last night, and I think we could do this, get a lot more accomplished together.
Agreed. You have my support.
All right. Do I hear the same from Yagos and Zunis?
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the only thing when you still don't know where to find this Kia.
Yeah.
And so what are you guys' thoughts on how you will go about doing that?
Maybe asking the innkeeper or this establishment's proprietor.
Yeah.
On getting any kind of information from them about Kia.
And so
we could also, sorry. No, I was just gonna say we could also ask. Was it Othanis? Is that was his name?
Othanis, yeah, that was the captain, right? Of
yeah. Because didn't he tell us about Kia? Wasn't he the one that told us about Kia?
He said he said he heard that she had like an establishment on the outskirts, kind of of town, but like he didn't necessarily know exactly. So you could just kind of go off of that blindly and kind of go in that direction, or you could ask around a little bit more. It's up to you.
What you think, Yagos?
Would the innkeeper know? It was a little odd.
Yeah.
And Yagos, I know that he might have a little bit of an affinity for you. So maybe if you ask, he'd be open to sharing more than he would with the rest of us.
And he comes over having just like seen you guys at the bar, having probably just talked to Grogus. And he's like, he looks at Zunis. Is everything okay? He's new. Is he scaring you? Is the horns and the whole thing okay?
Zunis having a couple drinks already. He's like, "I was great. Yes, very, very uncomfortable conversation, but I had no problems."
Okay.
What brings the drinks in? Brings the people in.
There is a museum if you're looking for a museum. It's on the eastern side of the town. He kind of shows you on the map. It's a museum of kind of great weaponry and beautiful artifacts found here in THEROS. If you're planning to look a little further into that.
Great. I appreciate the follow-up.
All right, look at the chat. It's so good. And he says, but can I help you with anything else? Did you, sir, get a good rest? Can I get an insight check from Torin?
Of course. Insight. 16.
Okay. And at that moment when he says that, it's like sometimes when you have a dream, but you forget you did, and then halfway through the day, you're like, I dreamed about that last night. Like, suddenly you recall very vaguely that you were in the dream on this boat on these like dark waters, and the waters almost sparkled in certain places, like they had like or maybe they were reflecting. Like you looked at the sky, and the sky was like the Knicks, but the water was reflecting like the Knicks, and you couldn't see almost where it stopped and started. But it was very dark, very heavily cast in like purples. Um, and as you were kind of laying on this boat, feeling extremely relaxed, you look up, and there is this dark, kind of gangly figure looming over you, and you kind of felt at peace as he was rowing. It was rowing this boat um,
Hmm.
down the waters, and as you look down into the water, all around you, one by one, bloop, 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 golden masks start to kind of like rise to the surface, and then you kind of snap out of it, and you're talking to Skilios. Oh, I know that look. You had a dream. Good for you. That means the rest was really good.
Elaborate, innkeeper.
Oh,
What do you know of these dreams?
People sometimes have dreams. I think they're just dreams, but they often say they feel like they have visions of the Knicks of being connected, and usually in certain rooms they have dreams of the underworld of the god Athreos ushering them over to the other side. It is just dreams. Don't worry. None of our. He kind of knocks on the table. None of our patrons have, passed away in their sleep yet.
Does this have anything to do with that orange drink that you gave me?
Oh, no. That was just pure alcohol. It's just something it's a phenomenon that our patrons sometimes will report. Lucky for you, I don't get them. I wish I did.
Interesting. Thank you, innkeeper.
Yes. Probably a
I
good
must reflect on this.
And so, in addition to that, you're all standing there. What are you guys going to do next?
Did Yagos, did you ask him about Kia yet or no?
Oh yeah, you could have asked. He's still there. He's kind of like looking at telling the Minotaur what to do.
My good sir, what do you know of this Kia figure?
I'm gonna roll randomly, and 12 or more, he might know something vaguely. 15 and up, he probably knows a lot more. 20 and up, he knows exactly who she is. And he rolled a 14. So, Kia. Who is this Kia you speak of? You say an oracle?
No. Do we know? Wait, do we know that?
You know she's Thanos said she was an oracle.
Yeah. Captain said that, right?
Yes.
The oracle Kia, yeah.
She go north. You actually must leave the city. She lives all alone. And on the pastures right outside, a few miles outside the city. And he kind of looks on. He kind of if you divert off the path a bit, going west, you should see a tower. She lives there in that little 2-story place. Often, philosophers, adventurous people go to her for questions about the great beyond. She is definitely connected to multiple. She hears often from many gods.
All right, thank you, my good.
From what I hear, she takes no coin. But yeah.
So, my fellow travelers, with this information, what should we do with it?
So we head out.
Agreed.
And
Off we go.
Very well.
Thank you, Yagos, for flying your charms.
Yeah, appreciate it, Yagos. Skelios?
yes,
Question for you. Would you suggest going by land or by sea?
oh, it's right outside the city to the north, so definitely, you'd have definitely no point of hopping on a boat.
Thank you.
So then walk.
So as you guys are walking through the city, kind of going through that marketplace, you see you can't help but notice like a bunch of, oh my God, it's them! Right? And you see a bunch of kids running. It's him! It's him! It's Hulk Hulkules! It's Hulk Hulkules! And they go like running, and he's like, oh yeah, little brother! Oh yeah! And you just see this guy standing on a perch, like kind of standing up on like one of the fountains, and he's like, "It's Hulk Hulkules." They're all like crowding around him, and like this, and he's this jacked, kind of bronzed, golden maned with a bit of a bald spot, figure, a little bit of a goatee, and his hair is kind of braided down a bit, and he has this golden bronzed breastplate on, but you can tell that the breastplate is painted gold and that it's actually not gold, and it's probably made of like wood. And as the kids come around, he goes, yeah, and he just like shatters the wood and like throws it away, and they all just start like losing their minds, and they're like, Hulk Hulkules, why haven't you been in the arena? Why haven't you been in Morrow's arena? And he's like, oh, it's okay, little kids, the arena's closed right now, but don't you worry, you keep getting those vegetables, it's gonna be open anytime soon, and when it is, I'm gonna be kicking plenty of butt, putting them all down. And he's like, showing his guns and stuff. And so this is just something you see, and you can't help but notice again, Zunis, near him is another sign that reads the same thing about Maros's ring is closed till further notice. Capable heroes needed. Please inquire about compensation offered. I think, Zunis, this settles to you very quickly now. You're starting to realize that these signs are posted around the Agora, and that this is a popular attraction here in this part of the city. For some reason, it's closed right now. Again, you do realize that this is probably a distracting, affair to go down, but it's happening before you. You guys can continue on to Kia. I don't know if you share anything that you read with your party, but it's just something you all notice.
Torin shares with the group very quietly. I've always been a fan of Hulk Hercules. I've heard tales told of his prowess.
Well,
I was very excited.
I'm sure if you ask him nicely, he'll let you swing on his biceps a little bit.
Torin does not swing on biceps. Nor does he fawn over anyone. You best watch your mouth, Gomez Adams.
It's pretty impressive that Hulk Hercules has made it out to Leyland.
He has not made it out there. It's just tales of his exploits. They're very popular amongst our younglings.
And it's very possible, because you got to remember, like, unlike Forgotten Realms, it's huge continents. Theros is only 200 miles by like 200 miles wide. Like, it's a very small land, and the myths and the tales, they go far and wide. No one's really explored outside of the area that everyone is in, as well as too far outside of the sea. Most people believe that if you sail too far west, you'll go off the side of the land and go into the Nyx itself, sail into the Nyx itself. So there are all these people, and as you guys have just kind of gotten out of the earshot, you're just passing by Hulkules, and he's like, "Yeah, soon I'm gonna be. If we can get the ring open, it's okay. Keep hope, kids. I'll get back in there, and I'll be doing. Can you hear me? Huh? Yeah, yeah." And you guys just like.
This is incredible.
Torin smirks as he walks by.
He's right
He,
there.
he tries as hard as he can to hide his excitement, but
Just
the rest of the group, you tell that he is highly amused.
As you go down this one street, you suddenly come to an establishment, like a kind of like this place behind me, another arena, but there's a sign on it that says closed until Morrow's Pancretian extraordinaire, closed until further notice. That's what you see there. And so do you guys continue on? Okay. And so you walk a little further, time goes on, you get to the edge of the city where there are some Meletis guards who, not even worth doing the role play, but they kind of check you in and let you leave the city, and the world opens up onto these. You start, as slowly as the sound of the police starts to die behind you, there is now just pastures of green fields. If you were going farther Akros, there would be golden wheat fields, but yeah, it's just like green pastures. And I think that Yagos, they would kind of speak to Yagos, even in a way, because these are the kind of pastures that the Laguna once was your land. Going a little farther west, you do know that sometimes the fairies might be out here as well. But typically, from what you hear, if you stay on the main roads, you should be fine. But trying to follow the path that was presented to you by Skilios, you all need to give me. I would like to get nature checks for this, not survival. As you try to make sure that you find. And pretty much what I'm looking for is there's four of you, so at least half of you need to pass to not get lost in the wilderness.
I got 18.
Okay.
21.
21. Okay.
We good. We in there.
You said a nature check?
Yes.
the dirty 20.
All right. So yeah. So you guys are kind of dead on. Go around and describe for me just this could be really brief. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out. Just kind of like how you guys travel. How are you guys kind of traveling together now? How do you guys maybe use your awareness? What is maybe one little thing that you all do to kind of maybe watch for threats, to make sure you're on the right path? Anything that you might want to add?
Yeah. I mean,
so as alone in my, go ahead, Terry.
No. Go ahead, Torn. You got it.
I always I perk my ears up, and I kind of even stand up some of the hairs in my body so that I can feel if there's any breeze hitting it in a weird way. I sniff the air a little bit more just to make sure that now that we're out of the city, I feel a little more aware of my surroundings.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm really just trying to tap into the land, and really just trying to get a sense of like what the vibe is that I'm picking up from the terrain, from the breeze, and really just trying to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And Zunis, he's used to living in the coastline, THEROS, and for him, being in an area where it's the kind of flat, or the fields that he's going through is not unnerving, but just certainly different, and he's just probably a little bit more on guard than he usually is. So he has his trident out that has the kind of the bow attached to it. He just has that kind of just at the ready.
Okay.
And I'm kind of at the head of the group. I like being able to surveil the land ahead of us. So I kind of stay up ahead, kind of any rocky outcropping we kind of come across. You see me kind of get up to the top of it and surveil the road ahead as to see any obstacles or anything that might be coming.
Got it. Awesome. And so together, doing all of those things, you guys find yourself kind of going over a large hill, and as you come and crest across the top, down in a little, like as it slopes down there, you see this little 2-story stone circle structured tower. No point on the top, just flat, and there seems to be beautiful flowers growing all around it, like a garden. And the road, it's just a dirt road. It's not really a road, but there is a little kind of path where the kind of like the long grass is open, leads down towards the place. As you continue down, approaching, as you're maybe 100, maybe 200 feet away, a woman cracks the door and comes out, and she has a basket, and she goes over and she starts collecting, like pulling off maybe like little tomatoes or things like that. She looks up, and she's quite striking. Platinum kind of white hair. It's almost like it has gone white early, maybe from stress, maybe from some divine nature. Her skin is kind of bronzed, and she has the look of as though she's one of the as though her human background is kind of mixed. And her light, kind of golden eyes, kind of glimmer in the sun. She looks up, holding her basket. How can I help you, travelers?
I come forward and I ask, are you the one they call Kia?
I am.
Great. My name, this is great. This is awesome.
Oh, okay. Good.
Torin hands you the golden mask.
Right.
He taps him on the shoulder and he hands him the mask.
And I say, we need your help. And I hand her the mask, or I offer to hand her the mask.
She looks at it slowly with her hands going out. And it's kind of a shot of your hands, your pawed hands. Who's holding it? Torin? His clawed hands. Or no, sorry, Zior's clawed hands. Can bring over to these kind of like delicate hands, and her embracing them and grabbing them. And then her kind of jolting for a second as she touches it. And then she kind of brings the mask close and looks over it. Come inside. And then she kind of disappears into the archway of the door. And as you all look around, and I assume follow, or do you not? And we watch you all following into the doorway as we fade to black for a commercial break, where we will pick back up here shortly. Good game so far.
Ooh, man.
So is it just me, or does Kia low-key look like Beyonce a little bit?
She does kind of. Yeah. So my goal is I picked her because she's kind of a mix. She's supposed to be kind of like light skinned black.
Kia is bad as a mug. Lord,
Yeah.
good gracious, girl.
I was so hoping you guys took the hook to go to Morrow's. Maybe it's okay.
I was like, well,
He's like, I'll follow her anywhere.
No, that's it.
Like,
Me just selfish Malcolm, not even the DM, just wanted to see what would happen if we like engage with that more. But that was also my way of like letting you guys know there's always going to be random stuff going on in the world, and you can
Yes, I'm loving the side mission. The side mission like candy, essentially.
There will be plenty of them. So All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna change up the setting.
All right, bet.
Right on.
Okay. Back in a bit. Hello.
None.
Is it coming out pretty clear? I switched mics. Or does it sound kind of weird? Sounds good.
Say something. Keep talking.
The music is kind of jacking. Can you hear the music on my mic?
No.
I need to
I
turn
don't
the music
think so.
down. Is it messing?
Oh no! I was just
No.
trying to see
You're good.
different audio.
Oh, gotcha.
Sounds fine. Sounds fine.
Listen to my voice. See, any one more thing to do here. All right, a few more minutes and we'll get back to it.
Hey man, check it out.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
got me a plant.
No.
What's good?
Still alive.
I kill everything.
Still alive. After a week.
Oh.
I'm hopeful that the trend continues.
That was good. I'd like to. I'm waiting for this terra planter
Is it Terra Planter?
that I backed on Kickstarter. That kind of I don't know if it's like self waters, but it kind of grows off the actual pot. And you just like wipe the seeds on it, and then it just does its thing. Kind of waters it in terms of what it needs.
Cool. Like a chia pet kind of thing? Like
So
it's like on a mold and it goes over. What are you talking about?
it looked really cool. Oh, I'm the worst. I kill everything unless it's a plastic plant. Something.
That's what I'm worried about. Because these are like bonsai plants. And so like you have to pay attention. You have to get like special like aerated dirt.
I have no
I don't know.
idea.
I'm worried.
Oh, that's what that
Terry.
plant is. Oh yeah, dude.
No!
You should check out. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
you
bro,
got all kinds of stuff back there, man.
yeah.
Yo,
So this-
I see some flowers.
how
So
did
this one here- This is that's Miss Gloria. She's a Chinese evergreen. This
Whoa.
one is a Munster, the Monstera. Spider plant. Couple of orchids. Bromeliad. More orchids. More orchids.
Man, that's awesome.
More orchids.
Yo, do those spider plants need a lot of sunlight?
Dude, spider plants are probably the easiest plant to have because you can literally neglect them for like I just watered this one here for like the first time in like I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 weeks,
Good.
and they do just fine. And like you'll know when you need to water it. Like it'll start to shrivel a little bit, and they'll start to turn almost like grayish color. But like you water it, and within like 24, 48 hours, it's like you've been watering it this entire time.
Gotcha. We have one in the house. We actually have 2 of those, right?
Yeah, they fucking sprout babies like crazy, man. Like,
Oh shit.
yeah.
Wow.
And you can actually like see their roots too. Like you can see
Yeah.
the roots growing off of.
Oh, look at that. That's
Oh man, that's awesome.
So literally, you just snip it, put it in water, and then once the roots like kind of take hold in the water, and you throw them in some soil, and you're off to the races.
Go.
How
long have you been into like planting and like, well, I guess tending indoor plants?
Yeah, so probably about 3 years now, but like it was very like it wasn't anything that like I planned on doing, you know. I just kind of fell into it really. But yeah, man, it's been fun for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to do plants in the house, but like, I'm bad. You know, I was like, I don't want to buy something and then, you know, like make it suffer. You know, that's kind of been like my thing. Like, I don't want to sit there and kill the thing.
Yeah.
So I've hesitated.
I feel you, but yeah, I would say like pretty like good beginner plants are spider plants, snake plants, or sansevieria plants. Those are really popular, and those actually purify the air in your space too.
the snake plant?
Yeah, and they look pretty cool. Like they're pretty.
Don't
they're
all
pretty,
plants do that to some degree?
To some degree, yeah, for sure. To some degree.
I mean, that's what the advertisement said on this thing. It's like, have a few and it'll like purify your room. You know, put one in each area or something. I was like, you're just trying to get me to buy more plants.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably true.
It's all.
I mean, do you think like bonsais are like particularly tough? Because I mean, it depends on the breed, right? I don't even know what breed this is. This is like a $20 like thing that I got at Home Depot. It was like a bonsai tree, you know. Like,
yeah, I'll be real with you.
Work.
Like, I don't know anything about bonsai trees, if I'm being completely honest. Outside of the fact that, like, you know, it can be a very like therapeutic type experience in like growing them, but also in pruning them. Like it's like
yeah.
Yeah, there
Pruning.
you go. There you go. So, but I don't, as far as like the day-to-day care or the week-to-week care for them, I don't know much about bonsai trees, but I think it's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to do this for forever. Again, though, I didn't have like a lit space with like sunlight, and like I was scared that I was gonna kill it. But now that I work from home like all the time, you know what I mean? It's kind of like I can't like not pay attention to the plant. You know, it's like it's literally in front of my face every day. So I'm like, I've watched videos and, you know, like a bunch of YouTube videos on stuff, and I don't know, I'm hoping that that's enough, but I'll be honest when I say that I'm a little scared. That's why I was like, $20, like I'm okay with like a $20 introduction. I don't want to kill this plant, man. I really don't.
So if you want like a spider baby, because like I've been trying to figure out how to like safely mail plants and like ship plants. If you want one of these, I will cut it and I'll attempt to send it to you, and hopefully it gets to you in a reasonable fashion, and then we can talk through like repotted the whole nine.
I mean, I'll pay for it. Like I'll pay for like the shipment and the plant. I'm down.
You don't have to pay for the plant.
I'm worried.
The plant's free.
Well, whatever. I'll pay for whatever needs to be paid for. Like, yeah, I'm down.
All right.
I do want more plants because they are like, it's calming.
For sure.
You know, my wife's like, why
Absolutely.
don't you just get like fake plants? I was like, that's bullshit. I want fake plants. That's stupid. How the fuck am I gonna get a fake plant? Like that like completely defeats the entire purpose. You know, like there's health benefits to this. You know,
Absolutely.
like, health. Yeah, fake plants. Weird.
Absolutely.
You're a fake plant. Yeah.
Look at you.
Suck on that bag of D's.
Oh my gosh. So we will jump.
Can't be more than you sucking a Friday night, man.
Yeah.
It's all good.
We are terrible.
Just send me your excess.
Y'all know he never stopped recording, right?
Yeah, we're terrible. We're very bad.
And I don't got time to go in here and take stuff out.
Still flashing. Still a flashing.
Yeah, no.
Oh, this is
You rip on
good.
each other constantly.
So good. Yo, Tori, you would be happy to know that E has like basically like had a plan on his desk for like the last, I don't know, what, 3 years now, Eddie?
No,
You've had that
like,
plan
come
on
on,
your
it hasn't
desk?
been that long.
It's okay. It's been like 2 years,
Yeah,
legit.
like 2 years. Still a long time.
This dude has not watered that plant one time.
Or I've done it a couple times because everyone keeps
Are
giving
you
me
serious?
shit. Everyone that walks by, oh, every time I see that plant, yeah, you gotta water that plant.
Is it
I don't
dying?
even know
Is
what
it
the fuck's happening.
surviving?
There's like people walking by.
So I even set up like a little water, like an
Oh, that works
automatic
great.
watering system for him. So, like, all he has to do is just pour water into the watering system, and then it'll water the plant for him. So like he doesn't even have to do it. And
Hey Eddie, I understand. Every plant we bring into this house, Jennifer and I kill it so fast. It is ridiculous. And I've reached out to Terry, like, I don't know what we doing, man. We like trying, like, plants don't want to be in here. Like, what am I supposed to do? Oh,
yo,
man.
how's the fiddle doing though? How is it doing?
It's still looking pretty rough, man. Like that thing went from the leaves is falling off. These big ass leaves are falling on the ground, and like, I don't know. My mom called me the other day. She had a ficus tree that she's had ever since I was like a kid, and she called me the other day and she goes, "Mal, I'm scared." I'm like, "Mom, what?" She goes, "The ficus tree it died." I said, "Wow, this is some Terry shit." Like she's really emotional. She said, "I had that ever since you was a little kid." I said, "Mom, who died? The ficus tree." I said, "Mom, it's a plant." She said, "But I've had it." I said, "Yeah, you're right." I thought about Terry. I was like, "Yeah, she's right. I get it."
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like you don't think you like develop a relationship with it, but like you legitimately do, and like and you feel bad when it doesn't look good. You be like, "Damn, I'm slipping on my pimping. I gotta get back in the saddle with you. I'm slipping."
One thing I've noticed about plant people, they also name them and give them that attachment by naming them.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want it, you won't name it. If you want it, you're gonna give it a name. It's gonna be remembered by something. I think all the most people have some kind of name for like that pinnacle, whatever it is that you have.
Yep.
It's the best.
You just called me out, Ron. You just called me out. I have not named this plant yet because I'm worried that it's gonna fucking die. And if I name it, it's gonna make me sad. I've avoided naming this thing because I'm just like, I don't want that on me. I don't want that shit on my soul.
Just do it.
There's that same principle. So when I just recently moved to Idaho, bro, from the city essentially. I moved out farm country, and I've learned that people that have farms, the ones that want to keep the animals, name them. Mm-hmm. The ones who don't, they're named dinner, lunch, and breakfast.
Oh my
They don't
God.
name, if they name the
That
animal.
makes sense.
they
Yeah, if you name the
have to
animal, you're gonna.
consume them.
For sure.
I couldn't do that because I eat animals. You know,
Yeah.
we roasted a baby goat 2 years ago now, I guess.
Oh shit.
Like,
Good.
I felt bad because it was like this tiny little thing, and it was like milk fed. You know what I mean? Like still suckling on its mother. What the fuck am I gonna name that thing for?
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
you know, do I want?
I don't kill the
Yeah.
whole goat. So the baby goat. Like,
Yeah, it was a big cabrito. That's what it is, man. Cabrito.
Hey, man.
Like I mean, y'all live in LA, you know.
I'm getting there, man. Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard the term cabrito
I'm
in
eating a
one
lot less
form or
meat
another
over
at some
the
point.
course.
Maybe you didn't know.
I'm trying to go full vegan at some point, but so
it's hard.
we're probably eating meat twice a week. You know.
Oh, that's good. You're doing great.
2 or 3 times, trying to wean myself completely off. But
You're doing
That's
great.
good, man. I wish I could.
Yeah.
I love the taste of meat.
I do too. I mean, but I have realized how much of the stuff that I love, like that taste, can totally be supplemented. And I've been surprised by that. And then when I do have meat, I really savor it because I'm like, oh man, just really you appreciate it, and it makes you like refuse to go get like McDonald's, right? Like I'm at a point where I refuse to eat a frozen batty that's made of 8 cows, you know, like
I mean,
why?
I'm not gonna lie, I still
I do
do
love
happily. but like
I do.
But like I still think about those 8 cows that are in my burger.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm sorry that you died in a terrible fucking way for me to eat this
For
burger.
me to go on.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny. This is too much of a tangent, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. But one of my coworkers was she loves to travel, right? And she was going to Puerto Rico to like hang out, and you know, like we all talk on like it's called Teams, Microsoft Teams, like it's like a messenger thing. And I was like, oh, you know, like enjoy. Why don't you go have? Because lechon is this like pork dish that's pretty popular in like Latin America, Puerto Rico, things like that. But like lechon, like leche is milk in Spanish, and so lechon is literally like milk-fed pig. So it's like a fucking baby pig.
Yep.
And I honestly didn't fucking think about it when I said like, oh, get some lechon or do whatever, enjoy yourself, and everybody was fucking horrified. Like they're like, they looked it up. They're like, I didn't know what the hell that was, and like my boss, like. Everybody, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you fucking say?
I'll tell the shit. Man,
I was like,
he's the same
I was
who
just
eat
saying,
bacon
like,
every
enjoy your
morning.
trip. And that's what my boss said later that day on a one-on-one. She was laughing. She was like, I was giving you shit, but I ate bacon for breakfast, and I was like, yeah, but it wasn't baby bacon.
Yeah, like these people, like if you think about it, people throwing away bacon, like just I'm full. 8 pieces left. Every time you go to like an all you can eat, like you look at all the bacon sitting in the tray, you're like, I don't want that. Can I wait for some fresh bacon? Like people are disgusting when you think about it.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like an animal was slaughtered for that, and we eat it, and like I'm good with that. We roast whole pig at this house.
Yep.
Like we'll buy a pig and we'll roast it.
That's what
cool.
I feel
I love it. It's delicious.
I'm not against people eating. I feel like if people understood, I feel like we've gotten so far removed from the process, and I feel like you shouldn't eat anything that you wouldn't be willing to kind of put down yourself. And so many people
you should look at it in the face.
It's so nasty, and it's like, well, why do you eat the shit then? Like, why do you eat this? Faceless thing.
You're gonna eat pork chops.
Yeah, it really put a lot of things in perspective.
Look at the pig in the face.
We went to like a bed and breakfast that was in this ranch, and it was interesting for the morning. I woke up and I asked the guy who was running the bread and breakfast on this little ranch I had coffee. I had milk in my coffee, and it was goat milk the day before. So that next Sunday, I was like, "Hey, can I get some more?" Because I noticed he served it black. I said, "Can I get some milk in my coffee?" He said, "Oh, the goats aren't producing this morning." And it was like, wow. It was like, yeah, there's no like, let me just go in the refrigerator and pull out some more milk. It's like that animal is not giving me anything And so we're allowing it to rest. And the animal just had a baby, and so the udders were like sore. And I was like, oh man, let that go rest. I'm good. I'll drink this black. You know, like I had such an appreciation. Whereas if I was like at like the Hilton, I'd be like, you ain't got no more milk? Like, what kind of place is it?
You make those nipples go raw. I want my nipples.
I would have broke the mug on the ground. You out of eggs? I'm sorry, man. The rooster is not making any more eggs today. How dare
The rooster's never made eggs. We don't know what the fuck is wrong with it. We don't know.
Oh man. So I felt like, yeah, I understand. No worries, you know. Oh man.
That's funny.
So
Wow.
funny.
That's awesome, man. And it's very true. Super true.
I wish I could.
Oh man, I love this. This is what I love about the home group, because we can still kind of like catch up and just do 30 minutes of bullshit in the middle of the game. You know? So, I mean, that makes it feel like old times, right? We'd always have at least 35-minute between Ron and Terry break. We'd have like, all right, man, me and Eddie just kick back.
That's what I was saying. I can't tell.
Oh, so yeah, man. I'm enjoying.
I'm back in game mode.
I'm ready. Okay, we'll still probably end around 10 tonight. I don't think it's gonna be too long of a game. So,
Cool.
good stuff. So, as we pick back up, you are now in this humble abode of Kia, and you get the feeling that, or she's kind of hovering, and she has a table at the center of the room, which I don't have presented there, but. As you walk into, you can see some stairs kind of going up to the ceiling, almost like an observatory. There's a little opening in the ceiling where like you know, almost that similar skylight effect that lights the room naturally. It's probably at this point middle of the day. Well, you guys are around 2, so it's probably like 4 in the afternoon now. The sun is getting lower in the sky, and she turns away from you for a second, and she's quiet. And then she turns and looks at Zior, and says, I wanted to turn you away, but my name is in this mask. And so she lays it on the table, and around her room are parchments and papers and scrolls kind of pinned to the wall of all these different ancient languages. The place smells of lavender, and just to give you another more of a intricate look at the mask, I uploaded a picture so you can see it behind. You see her behind me, but give me 1 second. You can also see here. So the mask itself, computer stop running slow, looks something like this.
Cool.
And then the inside of the mask is like that, and it has those intricate etchings. And towards the center, like right between the eyes, is where you notice the etchings, Kia. So she lies it down, and she seems to be spending time looking over it. And without even turning to look at you guys all at this point, she's just kind of studying. She's pulling out paper, and she goes, "Where did you get this?"
Go ahead. Easier.
We ran into, I forget like who the people were. What was like the race of the folks?
Inspiration.
The returned.
The returned. Yes. We had a run-in with a few of the returned, and
well, that much I know. It is a returned mask. Did you kill this return?
We did.
You killed him.
No, not I. It was Zunis.
No. But that's not what he's
No?
trying to tell you. No. This, because you remember, so she looks a little confused. She's like cradling the mask, and she turns around. trouble getting your story straight. So I'll just break character here for a minute. This guy jumped on the boat to try to get away from the other return. The
He was
other
being
return
shot.
shot him in the back with
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, come on,
Sorry.
man. Put me under the bus like
My
that.
bad. I'm
Fuck,
sorry.
what?
I'm sorry.
Judas killed
Me,
him.
bro. Me.
Fucking pushes me in front.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad.
It's
My
all
bad.
right.
So sorry. So sorry.
Oh
sorry.
my gosh, just throwing my man
Gonna
under
mute
the
myself
bus.
now.
He's like, no, I didn't get Judas killed him. Yeah, my gosh. Okay. I was trying to think of something witty for her to say, like, oh, he was supposed to be this important character. Yeah, we gotta run it all back. But back in game, she goes, okay, well, you all killed him, you didn't kill him. It doesn't completely, I guess, matter, but I ask because I've never seen a return to these etchings, just from what I'm looking at here, this seems to be an unusual code. Some kind of cipher. I need to spend a little bit more time verifying it. I can tell you. She grabs like a little eyepiece. She kind of looks over and bends over her table, turns away. She constantly is like looking at, kind of reaching out, looking over her shoulder at you, and then turning and looking down over with a little like eyepiece that she puts to her. It appears hid from eyes of mortals and gods lies wither in Orestes' rot. That text is purposefully direct, being a line from, seems to be a line from a poem about Phoenix. As for the rest, not only is this a cipher, it is incomplete. There are multiple letters missing here. They've been removed from the message. This puts it in an indiscernible pattern. Without knowing what those letters are, this writing seems quite impossible to decode, even with magic. What is it that you want from this? Is it just my name that brought you here?
No. For me personally, it was a plea from Nylea, goddess of the hunt. And as you probably know, her and Phoenix don't really see eye to eye. And
They do not.
So I am here on her behalf.
You know the story of why?
No, I do not.
It's okay. Well, it goes. She kind of just tries to tell this really quick story about the idea that at one time, two of Nylea's greatest hunters were having a contest in the forest to who can shoot, shoot like certain shots and score their arrows in these most extravagant ways. And between the two, they decided that they would try to shoot the arrows of like kind of like fruit off of each other's head. And Phoenix came in to play a terrible joke and to kill her huntsman and place them so that they would fire and kill each other and make this impossible shot, because they were going to do it blindfold. Sorry, they were going to make this shot blindfolded, and he moved them so that the shots would intersect. Nylea was able to show up, and when they fired, she diverted the arrows and multiplied them and pinned Phoenix to a great tree, where he ached and he was in great pain for many, many days. And he has always had it out for her since then. And his recent, one of the things that he has done to Nylea is to take her most beloved pet, a wolf, and turn it into a vile monster. And so the feud between them continues. But that is just at least the stories as it is told around these parts.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I can definitely see how they don't like each other. But essentially, we are here on behalf of Nylea, and it was told that you would be able to help us. Is there anything else is there any other information, or is there another person that you think might have a little bit more insight into what might be going on here, or why Phoenix is lurking and attacking right now?
I ask you to give me some time to open myself up as a vessel and to listen if you are actually communing with Nylea in the way you say you are, then I expect she will commune with me and give me more guidance here.
Oracle, before you commune, I do want to give you more detail. We were attacked by more of these fallen, one of which was able to command a storm to strike lightning upon us. I don't know if that has any bearing on your thoughts or what you'll be doing next, but I do want you to take it into account.
Thank you. I will meditate on that. You are welcome to stand here and talk amongst yourselves, and I will do what I do. And she kind of barefooted and her draped in her white gown stands towards the center of the room, and as she kind of stands there, she begins to kind of whisper to herself and to calm herself, kind of muttering under her breath. She turns to you all and her eyes kind of light up and they glow with an intensity. And she feels like wind begins to kind of whip through the space around you. Some of your hair kind of all rises up on your bodies as she begins to levitate off of the ground, floating upward. Don't have so kind of put her as she kind of lifts up, kind of like put her up here, as she is kind of in her own otherworldly space, and you all kind of look on in awe as she kind of levitates upward, and the wind just continues to whip around her. She kind of moves in this kind of elegant way, almost as though she might be dancing, almost like she's floating in water. Her clothes ripple off of her, the cloth around her. And as you look on, for a moment, you're all stunned. And then this continues to go on to a point where once you kind of come out of it, you realize she's communing, and it is taking some time. What are you all doing as you're waiting for her to finish?
In my mind, I'm hoping that she's getting. I'm staring in awe as well. This is like the second thing that is like, in my mind, miraculous that's happened to me today. So I'm genuinely like in awe right now, but I'm also hoping that her and Nylea are communing, and maybe even that she's getting more information that she can in some respect, and to also confirm. But earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, I mean, Zunis is, I mean, mouth open, just never seen anything like this. And I was standing near Zior, and I just asked, just out of my own curiosity, because I don't know a lot of the adventurers much, and I just asked, you know, why Nileo? How did this? How did your interest in coming here and being a part of this expedition lead us to this moment? I've never seen anything like this.
I think you're muted, Zior.
Yeah, I mean, it's my people have gone through a lot, or my tribe has gone through a lot. And we all came to Atlanta as a tribe for peace, but also for protection and for survival.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is all about balance. And when things are out of balance, she is unhappy, and when she is unhappy, things are much tougher. And so I worship Nylea because I also believe in this balance. But I also know what it's like to be taken care of and to be provided for, and to know what bounty is. And I've only known that worshiping Nylea. And so that's my connection to her. And she is now asking something of me. And I want to honor that. So I'm just really like hoping that her and Kia are having a chat, so that we can get to the next step and really do what we need to do. Nylea.
And Zunis kind of nods, and you know, I respect what you've said. I myself don't know. It's as if I don't know who I am myself, and I respect your search and just the clarity that you have about who you are at this stage. And I hope that as she communes, that not only will we find answers for this mask, but perhaps bring more clarity to you and the God that you support.
Thanks.
Can I get a wisdom check? Just a straight wisdom from Yagos and Torin.
Ten.
10. Okay. Well, how about you, Yagos?
9.
9. Okay. Okay. And so as you, for a second there, both Yagos and Torin kind of get a bit of a chill as the light kind of reflects off of, it almost seems like lightning kind of rolls around Kia as she is up there kind of doing this strange dance. And momentarily you can almost like hear like there's a loud crash as like lightning kind of crackles around her, breaking her. She almost falls. She like kind of drops out of the sky as she's struck by it, but it doesn't like it hurts her. It just kind of like breaks her from her from this trance that she's in, but then she catches herself and like floats down to the ground and stands. Nylea is not the only one watching you all. Strange. This is what I can tell you. She stands up. The line about Orestes, it refers to the court of Orestes, a legendary tomb of one of Phoenix's earliest followers. Orestes is said to be a master thief, or was a master thief, an oracle who foresaw who would become returned. According to the myth, the site also holds Phoenix's silence. No one knows, and even Nylea wouldn't tell me what Phoenix silence actually is. Is it an actual object, or merely a poetic flourish? But the fact that it is readable here in this inscription, the fact that, and to tell you, Zior, the way she communes with me is not quite in words, but in feelings. And I can tell you that what I can surmise in translating this full message is that getting the answers to the full message, to translating this, the answer is in the tomb of Orestes. That exact location has been lost to history, but Nylea is guiding me. And what she says, what I feel is that she says to go seek along the Kistonos River. That's a narrow river, just 3 days' ride from here, away from this polis, away from Meletis. Normally, this would be, from what I understand, what she's telling me is that a recent earthquake has shifted the ground, and you may find what you seek there. What questions do you have? And then after she kind of comes off that, you can realize like she almost like staggers forward a second as she's just all that information just spilling out of her.
Kia, thank you so much. This has been supremely helpful. Yeah, I mean, is there, actually, I don't really have any questions, actually. Does anybody else have questions?
I can also share and add that the river is at a trickle right now. A recent earthquake kind of shifted the grounds there and is kind of created a natural dam. Nylea tells me that's important. Maybe I'm seeing visions that maybe the shifting of the ground, the lowering of the water might be where you will find the entrance to this temple.
Zunis asks, excuse me, Kia, I am still, why would your name be on this mask? And why would this returned have had this in their possession, fearing for their life, or their being? I don't understand.
I don't understand as well. Honestly, I am quite afraid. The fact that I would be lying if I was to say that I wasn't concerned that my name is there. Nylea gave me no visions, no answers to this. My human mind tells me that I assumed that this returned might have planned to bring this mask to me. It could have been maybe they knew me in a past life before they were returned. You know, the returned often, when they escape the underworld, they shed all of who they were, and sometimes little fragments are left. And I feel that this individual was trying to scrawl what they could to hold on to what they needed from this. Maybe they wanted me to commune with Phoenix himself. I am open to all gods. I have communed with Erebos, Athreos, even those that many of the gods that others fear. Phoenix, though, I've typically stayed away from. As she starts to hand the mask, I am leery because if he is the god of lies, of deception, he's a trickster. He cannot be trusted. But he is worshipped. If you look in the dark alleys of Meletis and many of the polis, you will find often his name is whispered wherever a lie is told. Even every lie that you have ever told. Maybe the little lie that you told your mother that you didn't steal an apple. You gave honor to Phoenix. You gave worship to Phoenix. So he lives. All gods have their relevance. But his biggest worshippers are often in the gambling halls, high up in the political spaces, in the cities, and even in the darkest parts of the forests, even away from the cities, in Orestes. The gods find their way to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I hope I have been helpful.
So it's
No, thank you.
It's Phoenix. In apologies for interrupting, but is Phoenix the other god that you foresaw as observing us? Was there anyone else that you can sense observing, our current plight?
Our whereabouts.
You guys have much to learn, but I understand you are young and early in your journeys, and I welcome your questions. But no, it is not Phoenix that I felt. It's the god of storms, Kuranos. His inspiration lingers, but it seems to not have struck you all just yet. I don't know what he wants.
I was struck by lightning.
Yeah. I don't know what he wants from you.
I feel like...
There is literal lightning. There is the literal lightning of Kuranos. There are the storms. He can be violent. He can be vengeful. But he can also calm those storms. He can also be the lightning of inspiration in a soul. Those, every now and then when you get a really good idea, often Kuranos is behind it. Think of it as just a natural spark of energy running through you. Whether he sees you or not, typically they come from him. I sensed him there just at the end. Almost like he knocked me off my balance, but that is all I can say. I'm sorry, I am getting quite weak and tired. I will need my rest after such, as you can see, after such power.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Kia. We really appreciate tapping into the deep parts of yourself to help us along on our quest. We really appreciate it.
No worries. She goes over and she sits kind of like on like a, what you would call like pillows that are stacked in the corner in multicolors and with little tassels on them. And she kind of like sits and puts her hands out, closes her eyes. She kind of goes into a meditative state as her head begins to drop. She doesn't like walk you guys out. It's almost like she's very earth. She just kind of goes into the state of being and leaves you there. All the stuff, the mask sitting there. What do you guys do?
I guess
To the river.
perhaps is there? I feel like we should plan this carefully. If we need supplies, I would imagine this will be a dangerous journey to areas that I believe none of us have been to.
Agreed.
Yep.
What was the name
Sounds
of the
good.
river again? The Mystical River?
The Kistonos.
Kistonos.
Kistonos, yeah.
Kistonos.
It's spelled, let me find it. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Can't find it all of a sudden. More eyes. Khystonos. Like Kistonos. Kaistonos.
Kistonos.
Yeah.
Kaistonos.
Kaistonos, maybe. Kaistonos.
Perfect.
Kaistonos.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kaistonos River.
Yeah. And it's I will say it's also deep in the Cacheton Mountains. Well, the waters actually run through the Cacheton Mountains, so it's probably near there. You find the. So if you do 3 days, 3 days ride away from Meletis. She also, before she kind of goes herself, she kind of draws you out a bit, like a map to the general direction, so you do have that.
I see it. Yeah.
You see the Cacheton Mountains. Yep. So
Yeah.
This on Legend Keeper.
Yep.
Yeah. Legend Keeper.
That's what's cool about this. As you get more comfortable with the map, you'll start, when things get mentioned, you'll kind of know the general direction because you'll see it on the map, like where you're kind of the direction you're headed.
All right. So
I'm here.
We
prepare.
are-
Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
I feel like this is directed to the party. I feel like if we're going to embark on a journey of this magnitude, we do need supplies. Yagos was absolutely correct in terms of getting weaponry, getting food, water. Let us return. Let us return to the city and then start our journey on a fresh mount, as they say.
So you guys are gonna head back to the city, get mounts. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's my
just your recommendation. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I'm all gung ho because we doing this for Nylea, but yeah, it definitely makes sense for us to.
You guys can
get
set
back.
right off
Like,
if you want to. It's your
I know,
your
I know.
choice. You guys.
But no, this is not going to be like a smash and grab on a couple of goblins. You know what I'm saying? This definitely feels like we're going to need to plan it and have potentially some divine intervention working on our behalf.
Perhaps we can find someone that knows the area well in the city, get some information and get a sense of the perhaps creatures around the areas, and perhaps that'll help us better prepare.
Yeah. Wonder if Othanis knows anything about
The captain.
Yeah, maybe we could
Head to the
head to the, what was it, the tilted
horn.
tilted horn.
Tilted Horn. Yeah.
See if Othanis is there.
I think that would be a good, wise decision, considering we did save a lot of the soldiers' lives.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Okay, so you guys began to at this point, it is later in the day, and after spending another hour there, it's probably around 5:30. But it is April, so the sun is setting later, so you probably would just make it back to the city around sundown. And as you're traveling, you see a man kind of walking with a stick, not super hunched over, but just a normal size humanoid. And it's kind of because you've left her place. You're back on the main road leading towards Meletis. You can see the great city off in the distance. The sun is starting to set. Can I get a perception check from everyone?
$17.
Anything higher than 17? That's the marker. Anything beat 17?
15.
Okay. Anything higher than 17? Nothing? Okay. And so you just see the skies. Everything seems completely normal. Nothing out of the order. No one, even the 17, even Yagos, isn't taking anything else. But I will say that maybe like as the sun sets, it's almost like the veil. The lower the sun goes in the sky, the more those stars start to kind of like pop out. You kind of sometimes when you see the moon in the sky, it's almost like you're able to start to see the nicks. And unlike our night sky, they are full. When the sun goes down, it is this beautiful thing you see behind me. It's not just constellation of stars in the sky. The entire sky bursts into that. But it's not that yet. Right now, it's just that late sun. A few of those stars are starting to spring up. It's beautiful. And there's this traveler on the road. And as he kind of walks, he kind of nods and looks up to you, kind of a dark-skinned man. He seems like he could be bald if he took off his hood. Traveling back to the city?
Indeed we are.
Oh, didn't you make sure Meletis likes to close their gates? You should get in before nightfall. I think you have good time. You all, warriors? Are you adventurers or champions?
Perhaps one day.
Torn growls.
Oh. And he was just kind of walking over to Zunis and like touching a tree. Anything that's on Zunis that seems interesting, he's kind of like, he's being very kind of handsy. He's like this. He's an older man, kind of middle-aged man, but he's definitely like all in your.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff dangling. Yeah, I got like,
and his eyes are kind of haze. They're kind of like light eyes. A lot of stuff dangling.
Back off, gatekeeper. Keep your hands to yourself.
I actually realized,
with.
as Theron was growling, I kind of realized it kind of snapped me out of the. I should probably. I don't know this guy.
I'm not. Do I look like a bandit to you, Leonin?
Gatekeeper, you don't want to know what you look like to me.
Oh.
Keep your distance.
Oh,
just relax, Soren. There's nothing. He's no harm to us.
You're a rude man.
I can be ruder, gatekeeper. Much ruder.
You try it, and it kind of gives. He just kind of, and it feels like a very weak push. He just goes with his with a hand that's not touched staff and pushes. He doesn't even. You don't even step back toward him, but he pushes on you. And he almost pushes himself back, like, you should keep your mouth shut and stop being such a rude, whatever you are. You giant furry cat.
I growl a lot more aggressively this time.
My gills kind of like release some air and just give like a fresh stench in kind of everyone's direction, just trying to diffuse the situation.
Wow.
You kind of like, oh.
Just everyone, just relax here. Thank you for the information, and we will be on our way.
Yeah, tell him to shut his stinking cat mouth and he should walk away right now if he knows what's best for him.
Torin growls again, but keeps silent and continues forward because he understands that there is nothing to be gained by this fool and this interaction. And he whispers under his breath, "You don't know how close you are to dying."
We are all close to dying, my friend. All very close. And he starts to walk off.
Some of us more than others, old man. Some of us more than others.
This is true. And he continues to walk. Strange little occurrence with another crazy. You guys walk on for some time, and we're gonna be closing things out pretty soon. But like, as you're probably like, you're seeing the gates of the city coming up. You can see the Meletis, 2 Meletis guards, and you've got plenty of time. It's not like they're closing them on you, but it is getting late. And these are kind of last sign-offs for maybe where you guys are at. I'm also trying to do something new here where you can talk to another one of your party members and try to like share something interesting with them. Could be about you or something that maybe uplifts them. You can pretty much try to help them through role playing, and if it works, you'll get you'll give them inspiration. So it's a way you guys can all talk to one another and give one other player inspiration during the closing, an inspiration point during the closing of the game.
Zior, you have led us to answers, and we are grateful. Your instinct has proven true. You are a true Leonin, and I am proud to be in this group with you.
Torin, that means everything, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, it's not lost on me that, you know, you all are making a sacrifice for, at the heart of it, you know, a God that you don't serve or maybe don't even believe in. And so I think it's pretty special to be a part of a group of adventurers that want to work together and do something bigger than themselves. I think that does a lot.
And
Zunis, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the same thing on another level with the man Zunis today. He showed a very level head in keeping things in front of him and knowing exactly what to do. As with his foul mist, he had calmer heads prevail on something that could have gone into a position where we don't want to be. The level-headedness it took to realize that is not important as for our journey right now. Whatever you're doing, keep that about you. I believe that is one of your best attributes.
I thank you, Yagos. I think this has been an interesting day for all of us, and I realize we don't know much about each other, and perhaps as we come to these gates, perhaps we'll have a moment to sit down and share about each other's journey so far, as I feel like the journey we progress to now, it will be dangerous.
And Zunis, while I completely agree with Yagos, I will ask that you keep that foul stench to yourself.
Oh, it helps cool things off when it needs to be cooled off. So the stench will.
I understand. I understand that you did what you did, but it has clogged my nasal passages.
Well, as that is being said, I will let you all decide who you give your inspiration point to. As that kind of jab is thrown at Zunis, the guards are opening the gates, and you are all walking through, and you're still outside the gates. And right before you can cross the threshold, Torin is kind of walking towards the back when lightning, you all hear something, and when you turn around, he is standing there stunned, ashen black, and he collapses down on the ground, drops to 0. He is at 0 hit points.
Oh no!
Somewhere,
shit. Sweet Jesus!
Somewhere that old man is smiling. And he loses all of his piety that Karanos gave him.
Oh my god!
No! Karanos!
And so, as you guys are as we're kind of panning up to the sky, and the Meletis guards are rushing forward, you're all kind of rushing around to try to help your buddy who's down. He's only at 0. He's not dead. But we kind of push up towards the sky and towards the Nyx, not seeing Karanos, but just looking at those stars and hearing him laugh just a little bit off in the distance. And we fade to black and in the episode there.
Fucking knew it, man. I knew it was some fucking god. God damn it. They're in there like as humans, like impregnating people or like doing weird ass shit. I knew it. God damn.
Like my D&D Beyond is now like 2x.
That was great.
Oh, good.
Well, fucking bolted your ass.
Damn. At the very last scene, like you needed like 3 more seconds to get to the credits, bro. You would have been good.
I'm not ever gonna talk shit to old man again. I'm not doing it. Lesson learned.
Oh my God.
This Leonin is keeping his goddamn mouth shut. He's just gonna growl. That's it.
That was great.
Good, really strong role-playing episode. I really I really enjoyed that for sure, you guys. That was a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, that was really good, y'all.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Like I'm starting to, the characters are starting to kind of click with each other, and that was good. So good game. We'll roll these as credits for today.
Yeah.
Do we have the Oracle on there anywhere?
I actually got to get an Oracle in there. Yeah, that was
I really want to watch 300.
I know. Actually, let me share. Actually, I know it's probably choppy. I didn't share optimize it. It's not allowing me to optimize right now. It must be something on my computer. So it's when you optimize it, it's smooth and it's not choppy when you send it. But for some reason, my Zoom won't allow me to do that. I don't know why that is. So it's coming on. Some days I can do it. I don't know if it's a bandwidth thing. And my bandwidth is maybe stronger. So yeah, I know it's like I can see. Because on my second screen, I can see what you guys see, which is really chopped up. But when you do the optimization, it normally runs a lot smoother. Good game.
Yeah, it was great stuff.
Yeah, 300 is like, while it's not necessarily the tone of the world, it's definitely the color, it's the look of the world in my mind. It's 300-esque. Its inspiration for the stories are, of course, Greek mythology and a lot of the old movies I grew up on, like Jason and the Argonauts, Clash of the Titans, but then the look is updated for more of like that 300 look. That's kind of the way I see the world.
That's awesome.
That was so good.
Nice.
Good game.
Well done.
Yeah, always.
Oh man.
Yeah, I knew. I could tell that Eddie knew. He was like, "Nah, man, you need to stop growling and talking shit to this guy."
You can jiggle all my little chains on my chest all you want, bro. Just whatever you got to do. Give me some.
So I was actually inspired.
I'll chalk that up to my D&D inexperience.
You just put an agitator in there just to see how we would respond. Just to see who's doing the group.
You fucking knew that one of us was gonna be like.
I was like, somebody's gonna push it. Somebody needs to let this old man be. Oh man. Because when you guys roll, when you rolled for wisdom, both Yagos, I think. So my idea is that this is kind of like post game. If you want to ask the DM, my idea and like all this stuff was like on the fly today. So since I knew Karanos had kind of given you some piety, I imagine he would kind of like stick around and follow you to see what you're gonna do with it. And all this talk in Nylea was probably starting to aggravate him a bit because no one really cared that he just kind of gave him something. And so he was trying to give some inspiration. Like he sent out a message to both Yagos and Torrent, and they both didn't catch it because they didn't roll high enough. They like their wisdom. So he instead the bolt struck at Kea, and so that's what kind of stopped her commune. Like, he pretty much interrupted her shit. Like, fuck out of here.
Not on my watch.
So then on the way back, he was like, let me go see what they're all. Let me just go down there. And there is an encounter. I'll share, you guys probably won't have it at this, but there is an encounter with Karanos up in the mountains where they say, like, people sometimes come across this old man, and when they do him wrong, he will just transform and murder you. He will outright kill you and then just move on. Like, and it's just like, so my idea was that Karanos would murder him, but he'd be like, he saw something in you enough, but he's like, you need a lesson. Like, you need to kind of balance this a little bit. So he just wallops and what.
Oh man, Karanos! I seriously
an asshole.
Because I'm MTG.
Karanos is the guy that, like, you know, essentially, like, Thassa's known for being the sea, and the sea is a mistress. But, like, Karanos is the guy that goes, you know what, let's just destroy these ships that are on the water. Like, let's bring a storm.
You fickle.
And
I dig it.
Here.
I dig it. 100%. I fucking dig it. I have a Karanos. I call him Karanos, but you know, I don't know how it's pronounced. Karanos.
I don't either.
Karanos actually sounds kind of cooler.
Karanos is cool.
But I have a deck built around Karanos. Like, that's why I love him. You know, like, I love him because like he just comes out and he just like blasts shit to hell. And he's the engine.
Actually,
he's the engine of that
you
deck.
don't lose all of your
such a
piety.
fan.
Your piety drops to 1. He drops to 1. Not
Well,
all. Yeah.
It's all good. I do not
You're level 1,
begrudge
right? Oh,
this.
so it does. You lose it. It goes to 0.
Yeah.
I thought you were level. So you go to 0. But it doesn't mean that you can't build it back up. He's just kind of like
no. All good. No, it's all good. I'm still okay. Like I don't worship him outright, but like I respect him. You know what I mean? Like exactly. I'm like, I get it. You know, like he's fickle, and I'm all right with it. So I love it. I love the whole interaction.
And I wanted to show like how ridiculous how your encounters can be with the gods. Whereas, you know, Zior goes over here and has this amazing communing with Nylea, and then you guys see some wonders. And then Karanos is just like, man, I'm just gonna zap somebody. So all of you kind of got like
fuck you.
The longer you live in this world, shit is just all over the place. It's like, watch out.
So
I love it. That's great. Fucking great.
Would Karanos be close to like a Loki, like a mischievous?
No, that's so Phoenix is Loki. If you had to compare, Phoenix is totally like a Loki. Karanos would be more like what he is because like you gotta look at the nature of storms. Like storms, they can be. So his idea is that storms are extremely devastating, even though they bring like water when there's droughts come. But he's just it's very unforgiving, the things that he does. It's and no one really knows why. He has his reasons for it, but he's very testy. You know, it's like there's an awesome picture which I think I have it put behind you. There's a picture of him in the book just casting lightning on a ship, and he's just like standing over the ship, and you know everybody on the ship is dead. So it's like, you know, it's just like there is, you know, he's also associated with these bouts of inspiration. So like a philosopher in the city, when they get an idea, that could be attributed to coming from Karanos. And that's what's cool about the gods. So like Iroas is the god of victory. He's the half brother of Mogus, who they're both gods of war. So in this world, the gods of war are two halves. One is a centaur, or a bovine centaur, and the other one is a minotaur. But the minotaur is all of the parts of war that are the bloodthirsty, the vengeance, the violence, everything that comes with war, while Iroas is the part that says victory. This is the good parts, like all the stuff you need to go to war, so hopefully you don't have to have it in the first place. You know, the strength and the resolve, that's all Iroas. So, but at the same time, people, when they get a win, like if you live in Akros, if someone had a good day and they got like a job promotion, they'd be like, bye Iroas, because like that's a victory. It's still all given to him. So that's, you know, it's a polytheistic world, so the people kind of give everybody their due. You know,
cool.
So you lying a lot. It's like, ooh, you got that Phoenix tongue. You know, it's like that's the way the world is probably like.
I love it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm not even mad that I'm partially dead.
Yeah. So we're gonna pick up with him back nursing his wounds at the.
Yeah.
But I need sleep. I
You
need
know
a
what's
rest.
funny? I didn't think about it, but that makes now the dream makes sense. Is that you were like gonna be close to death later that day? The dream you had, and then...
No, I even took a note. I even wrote it down. I was like, there's some like Charon type person that's like, you know, like taking me down the river Styx, except it's the Nyx River, and like, I guess I'm gonna be dead. You know?
Perfect.
Yeah, and I think in the dream that was THEROS, who's the god of passage, who ushers you all to the afterlife. Oh, so much fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
That was good.
Good
Stuff,
game.
Mal. Thanks, gentlemen.
man.
Appreciate
Thanks,
y'all.
guys. If you guys gotta go, feel free. Yeah, I'm probably jump off too because I got a long day. I'm gonna miss y'all tomorrow. I know some of you, if you're in the city, I'm gonna miss Ron and Sam and I know Terry, you can't make it, man, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a game, our first game in person. Eddie's gonna run a game for my birthday, so that should be fun. Oh shit.
I just got my ticket back in today.
God damn it.
So I'm gonna be coming out. I'm gonna be coming out, just so you know.
Yeah, I
I'm
got my
flying
first
my
one.
ass up to California.
Monday, so I got 30 days before I get that second one. So yeah, we'll all be back.
Yeah. Once we vaxxed up, it's
so let's do it, man.
Game on.
Yeah.
I'm flying my ass out there. I just turned 40, so I want to party.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah, man. I'm glad we're back to a nice, and I like this game because I feel like it's nice inspiration to know that connected to the other games, I can kind of feed off of those and know what I'm doing with you guys tonight. And you guys are also so good. It's I think this game's gonna flow really, really smoothly. I think we're gonna get some good sessions out of this game going forward. Yeah.
For sure.
Because you guys had me on my toes. I was making up most of the shit tonight, just literally on the fly.
It was perfect.
Skilios, Grogus. I'm making notes like I don't know who these people are.
Grogus. I was like, dude, I was like, scrotum? Like something's like Grogus, like you like grab someone's like hairy ball sack. Like
as I said it, I literally just imagine he used to be this murderous, evil Minotaur, and then changed his life, went to Meletis, and he's just trying to like start over, serving drinks at the bar.
It was
man,
incredible.
Like the animations. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah,
whenever
the
you turn
animations
into
are
fucking Nylea, That
Oh,
freaked me out.
that was
Yeah.
good because it's the female
but it was
face.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
shit,
terrifying.
man.
That one
I was-
scares me.
Like, you can
Anything
still
where
see your beard.
Yeah.
You can still see your beard a little bit. And I was like, oh my god, that was really fucked up. Like,
It's-
it just, I don't know,
It's
man.
so creepy.
Like, I love it,
It's
but I was also,
beyond
no,
That's why I was holding my beard because I was like, I have to try to be Nyleo.
I can't do that. I'm getting ready to go to sleep, man. Like, I can't.
Nightmares.
Do that.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Were
bruh.
you using it, Eddie? Was that you
Weird,
using it with the
man.
mustache and the eyebrows?
Yes,
That was
is
great. Because it was so,
I
yours
kinda
was
wanna
so
keep
subtle
that.
that it took me for
Yes.
a minute. I was like,
Yes.
Oh,
does
Bro,
Eddie
I
have
thought
did
that was
not
you,
see?
E.
No, did you see that?
No.
I saw it, but I was like, oh.
You,
And
by
the
the way,
cra-
you can
yo.
all use this. It's just Snap Camera. It's just you guys can all download it and have it.
You look
open
like
Zoom.
Gomez Adams, man.
Oh,
to me, I was just like holy shit. Yeah, there it is.
Damn,
Look at that.
bro.
It looks good.
That shit looked
You look
pretty
good,
fire
man.
on you.
You look pretty good, man.
Eddie's known for doing like makeup and stuff, so I thought between like a break or something, I was like, did he just like pencil that shit on real quick? Because like it
It sure looks like it.
It was so good, man. Like,
Bruh, like,
bro, for you guys, for your Leonins, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Torin.
Oh,
Yeah. Cocaine. With your dreads,
Oh,
bro.
snap.
Like, it should be awesome.
oh!
Y'all gotta do it. Yeah.
Where do you get that?
They're
How do
all
you-
on like
okay,
it's just
hold
a
on.
snap filter, yeah, and it just allows you to. So you know where I stopped the video like that. Next to there is whatever cameras are plugged in. So once you download this browser app, it makes that one of your cameras. So when you go to that camera, it applies the filter. Just like I know I'm giving up the secrets, but yeah.
No, man, it's all
how you
good.
do it.
That's so great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna man, like those like face editions, like the Centaur bartender.
It's so good, man.
I
Yeah.
just,
I mean, look at this
hate
for
to
the-
break.
A
I hate
half
to
orc
break the
or
like.
an orc. That's,
Ah!
that's a great. Like, yeah, if I was a half orc, I just would run. Actually, I might run this one for my samurai guy in Daddy's game for Ito.
Oh yeah.
My half
Should.
orc. Yeah.
Ah,
Go
shit.
see Bobo for a
That's so
foot
good.
massage.
That's so good. And even like the screen was turning red
Yeah,
with the bartender. You know, I was
It,
like,
like, started
oh,
shaking.
there was like smoke. There was like smoke coming out of your mouth. I was like, oh my god, it's crazy. It was so good.